Now entering into our histology module, which is going to be kind of the underpinnings of the anatomy of each of our organs. And by understanding the structure of each tissue, you can understand the function of those tissues, but also by putting them together, the ways that an organ would work, right? So we have four main tissue types, and I just want to briefly touch on them. So the first one is epithelial tissue. And oftentimes people describe it as the skin, but it's not just the skin, right? So it's not just skin. What I like to think of it as is more of a barrier, right? Which, yes, your skin is a barrier to the world, but your skin is has some types of epithelial tissue, but it doesn't have all the different epithelial tissues. The epithelial tissues are very diverse and have lots of different functions. And so when you think about that barrier, it can be just a barrier for just straight protection, or it can be a barrier that regulates transport. So what goes in and what goes out. It's not just blocking everything. It can regulate what comes in and what goes out. The second type of tissue that we have is connective tissue. And I know I said that epithelial tissue is very diverse, but the connective tissue is going to be the most diverse. And they're defined by specialized cells and a specialized matrix. And together, these specialized cells and these specialized matrices are going to help with their overall function. And each connective tissue has a different function, but they all kind of fit under the guise of bringing all the tissues together. And they're both by structure, right? So actually connecting things to each other, and by its function. The next two tissues are what I kind of think of as more specialized tissues, but the first is muscle. And muscle tissue is defined by its ability to contract. And then we have nervous tissue, which can be defined by its ability to generate a voltage change, but you will see that in other areas. So it's not going to be just in the muscle in the nervous tissue. You'll actually see some changes in muscle, and you might even see some changes in epithelial tissue. So there's a little bit more to it, but nervous tissue really does have those electrical changes much more. But anyway, those are the three that you guys